Yeah, they're supposed to be crises, but they're not. No one treats them as really crises.
It's like bad times on Infinite Earths.
Shitty times at Infinite Earth High.
Here we go again. It is time for another awesome episode of Comic Books and Cold Ones. We are the beer podcast with a comic book problem. My name is K Mac, and as always, I am joined by my super awesome, super great co-host. Sometimes he's the bearer of bad news, though. Parayek. Good day, sir.
Thank you, Kamaka Dejur. and welcome back, everybody,
Oh, yeah.
to another swinging episode here, or I should say, swigging episode.
Swigging episode.
Swigging episode, since we are back on our big swig pub crawl and covering all the great crossovers of yesteryear in the Marvel and DC universes. And this time, we finally turn the corner to our first ever DC crossover event, and I think it's the first major crossover event in DC history. And what is that, Kate Mac?
Well, it is the Crisis on Infinite Earths. Yeah, and we had to get through, what was it, three Marvel crossovers before DC has their first big one. And their big one it's a very big one. It's a big one.
I would say maybe the biggest of all the Marvel and DC ones. This might be bigger than Infinity Gauntlet, because I'm thinking of all the major ones in Marvel, and Secret Wars is big, Secret Wars 2 is big, but I think this one, in terms of an impact,
Yeah.
rises above a level, even above Infinity Gauntlet, because this affects all the writings of DC Comics onward up till even today, where they can't go 5 years without coming up with a new Crisis crossover event to create their universe to keep it going forward.
Yeah, definitely in scale and scope and impact. I would have to agree with you because it does have some lasting implications. But before we get into any more of that, let me give you some show info. If you want to send us an email, we have an email address. It's cbcopodcast@gmail.com. If you like tweets instead, we have one of those too, don't we, Yek? We have
We
at
do.
CBCO_podcast. And then we like pictures, and our picture account is on Instagram, just like everyone else. It's comicbooks_cold ones. So hit us up on one of those platforms and let us know what you think. Let us know what you want to hear. Let us know about some or any beers that you like that you're drinking, because we'd sure love to hear from you. Shout
And
outs?
today I have a shout out to
You do.
the City of Angels,
This is
Los
LA.
Angeles, the city I'm from. What's the rest of the Red Hot Chili Peppers lyric?
Oh, jeez.
Well, I want to drink some blood.
It's a Drewsome blood. I
The
was
Drew
corrected. I was corrected on that very line in high school once. I'm like, why are they talking about drinking blood? No, it's Drew blood.
Well, that's not true. Anthony Kidd is a vampire, and
Oh, he
Flea
is.
is his Renfield. His assistants have been enthralled into him. We all know this. That's the reason
Yes.
Flea acts so weird, and his name Flea because he eats fleas.
Yes. And fleas suck blood.
Yes. Look at that. We've solved another conspiracy. But we had our first download from Los Angeles, the City of Angels. So Hollywood, welcome to us. Crenshaw, thanks for listening out. Inglewood, I hope you're all up to good today, because we are singing it for
Up
you.
to no good. Now, if you're a producer and you really want to make a live show out of this, we'd be willing to hear what you think. Maybe.
We can come to Roscoe's Fried Chicken and Waffles and do an episode while drinking 40s. I will volunteer to do that.
Heck yeah. Let's go tomorrow.
And on top of that, I have a double shout out here for the people of
boy.
Underberg America, everybody's favorite digestive. They have taken a liking to all K-Max postings on our Instagram page. And for people that don't know what Underberg is, it is a small little bottle of digestive herbals that helps you recover from hangovers, or you drink it before you drink or eat to help your tummy move things through. And for some reason, they love K-Mac. And if they want to sponsor the show, Underberg America, please let us know. And we'll have an episode dedicated purely to Underbergs and
we'll test it.
and Under Heroes to cover everybody's favorite digestive from Germany.
Neat. I didn't know that. I didn't know that's what it was. That's cool.
Yes.
We'll have to try some of those. Do they ship them here? They should.
You can get a bandolero. And that's the best part. In certain stores and German bars, they serve them like a bandolero of bullets on the side of the bar, so you can walk around with it strapped around your chest,
Well,
a la Punisher, a la Deathstroke, and hand out Underbergs to your fallen comrades.
that's cool.
Yes.
That is very cool.
But speaking
So,
of Underberg and drinking, I think that's what we need to do next. Rev ourselves up for enjoying some of that fine digestive tomorrow. So, K-Mac, to walk us through what is the collapse of the multiverse in the DC universes, what are you drinking today?
well, I had a couple of different beers in mind at the Brew Growler bar, which is that little establishment I went to for uh, my beer for the last show. So they had a beer, and this isn't the beer I got, but it was a beer called Norwegian Wizard Crisis, and I was like, this would be perfect. But how this growler bar works is they get local kegs, well, from Florida really, but and when they run out of that keg, they just get a new keg from a different local brewery, so they don't necessarily repeat a lot. So by the time I got there, that was out. Then the other one I wanted to get turned out to be a can, and I had slugged my growler in there, so I didn't waste my time with cans at that point, right?
No, no,
No,
no, no, you can't.
no, no, no. So the beer I
What is
ended up with,
Norwegian Wizard Crisis, and is it better than Norwegian Wood?
probably, I don't know. It was an IPA. I didn't get to try it. I wish I did. I'm gonna have to be on the lookout for that because the name is just great, isn't it?
Yes.
It's just a great name for a beer. So the beer I ended up with um, is out of a brewery called Overflow Brewing Company. Overflow is located in St. Petersburg, Florida, right around the block from my office. I'd been there once. It's a cool place. Um, so this story we're reading today is overflowing with heroes, villains, and especially words. It's overflowing with words. So I thought, I could tie it in that way. The beer is a New England hazy IPA, and it is called Stay Noided. I don't know.
Stay noited.
Noided, Noided. And that phrase, after a little bit of Googling, is most commonly used in the Pittsburgh area, meaning you were nervous or very afraid. So this is stay nervous, stay afraid, because the end of the universe is coming. What are you going to do?
So people in Pittsburgh say the words noited when you're afraid.
I guess so. That sounds way too upper class, doesn't
Is
it?
is 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 that like a reference to the Noid from Domino's Pizza from years
I
ago?
was wondering if it was. I don't know. I don't see
Domino's is
anything
from
about
Detroit,
that.
right? Yeah,
It is from Detroit.
yeah.
There's a noided hashtag on Instagram though.
Because I know
Um,
roided, and that's the reason certain guys don't get into the World Baseball Hall of Fame. So,
so
National Baseball.
there's a Reddit thread here that explains staying noided as staying paranoid, being aware of all conspiratorial shit going on around you, never getting comfortable.
Well, we on this show subscribe to being noited over conspiracy theories because that is one of our other sidelines of not just comic books, cold ones, cryptids, and conspiracies is kind of the extension of our full thing. So I would say we are both noited individuals.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree. It's 6.5 ABV. It's a hazy IPA, double dry hopped with Citra and Mosaic hops. I tried a little sample of it. It's really good.
Okay.
I love it. You know why? Because it's beer. It's amazing
And
how what was it, like a year and a half ago? I really didn't like IPAs, and now I seem to just drink only IPAs.
you skipped me on that. I was about to say that to you. I was
Yeah.
like, this show, the only achievement of this show, as far as I can tell, is first, somebody in Uniberg America loves your postings. Number
Yes.
two is that you've discovered how much you like IPAs.
Yeah, I have Deathstroke
Taskmaster.
and Taskmaster to thank for my IPA loving.
Yes.
Yes, yes. Uh,
And you have now wore the IPAs better.
I have.
So
I love them. They're so special to me.
So yeah, I eagerly searched around the beer store, the Total Wine, to find a good beer to cover the collapse of multiverses into one. And I searched and searched, and the best I could find was from Ithaca Brewing Company out of Ithaca, New York, home of Cornell College, Ithaca College,
Ithaca
um,
College for sure.
Ithaca College, I believe, home of the Bombers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's their name in Division III football. The little beer I got is a Schwarzbier or a black lager, and it is Midnight Sun. And it's not. It's so new. It's not even on their website. Comes in the
Ooh,
tall boy can here, and it
like a
brings
new
in
universe.
5.5% alcohol by volume. So I am interested in trying this. But Midnight Sun, just like the Black World of Quard in the antimatter universe, that's what I'm drinking today. Because I assume there's just a midnight sun in Quard. There's a noonday sun. What do you think?
That sounds about right. Yeah.
Okay.
If
Thanks for
anything,
the
yeah.
ringing endorsement of my
Yeah, I
review.
mean, Midnight Sun, that's kind of stretching there, but yeah, it's awesome. You got it. The
Thank you.
You hit it right out of the park.
See what I put up with, people. I try to do a podcast.
You choosing this beer is just like the Monitor choosing these great teams of heroes and villains to protect his machines. It makes perfect sense.
I mean, I go out of my way. K-Mac teases a beer that sounds amazing, then says,
It's
next
not
thing,
it.
I didn't get that beer. So everybody's like, oh, no one cares. I don't give him S about it, but all of a sudden I come up with my best chance at getting a beer to match the show. And this is the love I get. Just complete anti-monitoring my monitoring.
I'll tell you what, like wandering around a Total Wine looking for a beer to match the podcast can take a long time. Holy crap. So well done. Well done. You really put in the time.
And the problem with the Total Wine I go to is like they're really helpful. So like three or four of the attendants will stop and go, "Do you need help with anything?" And I don't have the heart to tell them. It's like I'm looking for a beer for my nerd podcast about beer and comic books. May you help me on my quest?
Do you have
Because
any
they
beers about multiverses collapsing on themselves?
because they have all the suggestions for wine, with the staff picks and the
Yeah.
picture and the guy giving thumbs up. And there's a guy there that's like Bob, like he has the wine taste I want because every bottle that he like recommends is like $75 or more. And I'm like, but I'm like stuck with going to Tito's picks because Tito's like more my guy because he's like $13 a bottle. But there's no wine, there's no beer person usually. That maybe I could fill that role of beer person
Ooh.
to match with your podcast at the total. Sir, stop helping people match their beers with their podcast. You're not even working for Total
Think of all the business they're losing by not having
Wine.
someone who does that.
Yes, just stands there and goes, what's your podcast about? I can match a beer with it for you.
Ooh, multiverses? I know. Midnight Sun. That's the beer for you.
Here, I got a fine beer in from Ithaca, New York. So that's what I've been
Crises and
drinking.
Wizards? You need a Norwegian wizard crisis.
Yeah,
Oh,
let's
just
see if we
kidding.
have any left.
We're all out of that. We're all out of that beer.
Well, I need a beer before we start off this thing, so let me open this thing with you while you pour in your growler full.
Yeah, I don't
We'll
have the
listen.
cracking noise anymore.
You'll hear the popping noise though. Oop.
Ding, ding, ding.
So I can smell the roasty malts from about 6 inches away as I pour it into my pint glass. It pours a nice jet black as a Schwarz beer should, with the little kind of brown hue when it hits the light, in a nice even head right at the pint glass marker.
Oh, yeah, look at that. It's a nice pour.
I I excel at certain things, pouring beers and recommending beers for podcast at the Total Wines.
Yeah, I can smell the citra hops coming right off the top of this.
Very good, very malty, which I like. Not too over roasted, which doesn't, if they over roast it, it makes it too bitter and harsh on the
Yeah.
tongue. But this is perfectly done. Like I could have a lot of these during the winter or on the anti-monitor world of Quard.
What
So
is
to
that
get
beer
this,
like in the regular universe, though?
it's totally the color of your beer, which is nice, bright yellow, and full of regular day sun.
Mhm. I think the pour I had at the bar was a little tastier than the one that ended up in the growler. Not sure.
Mm,
Hmm.
did they spit in it?
No, they didn't. It's
Did they
okay.
anti-monitor into it?
They might have anti-monitored it a little bit. Yeah, it doesn't. It didn't pour with any head, and that's kind of different. So
So just to get things kicked off here, I'm going to give you the overview for the people that don't know what this crossover is all about. Like I said, the name of it was The Crisis on Infinite Earths. It ran from April 1985 to March 1986, and it was the brainchild of two of the, I shouldn't say two of the top creators, the two top creators at DC at the time, and the writer Marv Wolfman and George Perez, who had been running Teen Titans, the new Teen Titans, for a little while, and to take on the juggernaut that had become Marvel's X-Men. And they were given the keys to the kingdom to revamp the DC universe with this first ever crossover event in the DC world. And along on this trip, so Marv Wolfman being the main writer, he was joined by Robert Greenberg and Lynn Wein to help fill in some stories also. And George Perez also helped out. George Perez was the main artist, and other people chipped in on that. The inks were done overtime by Dick Giordano the Great, Mike DeCarlo, and Jerry Ordway, also a great. Colors done by Anthony Tolan and Tony Zucco and
hey,
Carl Gafford.
Zuko.
Tony Zucco and Carl Gafford at various times, and all the fancy lettering, because there was a lot of lettering in this because it's a
There
George
was.
Perez run event.
Yeah.
He loves to write lots of words. That was John Costanza holding it down.
Costanza. These guys have
and,
great last names.
and of course, Marv Wolfman, the reason it kind of gets out of hand at time because he was editing it himself
Mhm.
with Robert Greenberger and Lin Wein also throwing in. And this time, the executive editor of DC was Dick Giordano. So he was both Inkins and Edinins.
Oh wow.
And the other keystone of this event is this was right when 1985, when DC hit its 50-year anniversary. So this
They
was the
decided to burn it all down.
big shakeup of all shakeups, to bring together a new start over the universes that were DC. So to give you background, there in DC there is a multiverse also, and it was probably, it was the multiverse that became before Marvel's multiverse, of course. And so it's the original one, but it had sprawled out of control where they had multiple comics going on in different universes that were not related over the years,
Yeah.
and stories in the past they would throw into multiverses or different verses, different Earths to just get rid of it, just so they could start new storylines. And I've never sat down and counted them all, but there are at least how many major ones in this one? Let me do the count here. There were 11 major ones
11.
basically
Yeah.
that take part in this one, and we will break those down briefly for all of you to get in. But the whole idea is they wanted to get rid of all the multiverses so they could tell simpler tales and tighten it up. So a kid goes to the comic book rack and picks up a comic book. He's not worrying if old ball Superman's is the same as Superman from the movies.
Right, right. Justice Society versus Justice League, those types of things. And the characters could interact together more without having to travel between universes.
Mm-hmm. So you didn't have Tin Hat Flash, Jay Garrick, and then bodysuited Flash and Barry Allen. You were trying to get those down to at least one Flash, and
Yeah.
so I'm going to name a random universe Earth here,
Yes.
and K Mac's going to tell me who's on that Earth. So Earth One is,
Earth 1 is the Silver Age Earth, and that's for the Justice Society of America, Old Man Superman, Old Lady Wonder, Old Man Wonder Woman, Old Lady Wonder Woman,
I think you got that
essentially, right?
confused. Earth One is Silver Age. That's
Mhm.
regular Superman.
Oh, that's regular Superman?
Yeah,
Oh,
Golden
yeah,
Age.
Golden Age is Earth 2. Duh. All right.
Yes. So
So
this is the
so what I
reason
just said was Earth 2.
You got collapsed already, and you don't even know what's going on.
I know. I'm on Earth R for Earth L for loser.
Came back up Earth L,
I
losing it.
figured we would talk about them in time order anyway, but what do
Well,
I
I just want
know?
to cover the first two big. Well, they come in Earth One, being the Silver Age one.
So
I
the
do not.
Silver Age that's the one everyone knows, the one
Yeah,
everyone's familiar with.
and Earth Two, you would think would be the one. This is the one from all the original stories of Superman and Batman and everything.
Yeah.
They dumped into Earth Two for some reason.
Right. And then we have Earth 3, that's the crime syndicate's Earth, which is the evil Justice League with Ultraman, Power Ring, the Owl, and Lex Luthor being the hero of that Earth.
Yes, and this is the one that kicks off in issue one. We're not going to go walk through all these issues, but we're just going to hit some of the highlights. But the one that kicks off the whole story is, for some reason, Marv Wolfman and George Perez had it in for Earth Three
I
because they
hated
just
it.
they just destroy it. First few panels of Earth of the first issue of Crisis, that's the one they get rid of first.
Right. And like you said, we can't go through the whole story because this would be a crisis of infinite podcast if we went through the whole story. Um, I'm sure someone else has done it, so you can probably find them and listen to that. But yeah, Crime Syndicate's Earth gets no respect, and it's gone.
And they
Like
turn the crime
half of the
syndicate
first issue.
people into like heroes in it,
They
just
do,
to start
yeah,
it off. Yeah, they
yeah,
go
which
from
which
like, we
was a
got to
good
save us.
touch.
Bullshit, man. Ultraman only looks out for Ultraman. That's if
He
I remember
does,
it.
yeah, that's true. But they don't want to die. But they died.
They die.
Yeah, would have been cool to have them maybe involved in this. That would have been fun. But maybe just too much story to tell because Lord knows it wasn't too much story to tell already.
We've got 11 Earths to bring together. And
Yeah.
another reason they were doing this is that DC had also acquired multiple rights to other comic book universes that
Hmm.
they had kept going on, and they wanted to bring them all together. And that brings us to Earth 4, which was the Charlton universe, which has everybody's favorite Blue Beetle, The Question, Peacekeeper, who's in the news a lot these days,
Yeah. Captain
Captain
Atom.
Atom. So,
But
they,
not all silver shiny Captain Atom. Regular dude Captain Atom.
yes, just with a
Yes.
big atom symbol on his chest.
Yeah. Now is Booster Gold from the Charlton line or is he
No,
regular DC?
he's regular DC. He gets created post Crisis.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't remember. He's a Keith Giffen creation. I want to say. I
That
don't
makes
quote me on that
sense.
though.
He's
I
in a
don't.
lot of his books.
Yeah, I want to say that, but don't quote me on that. And then we get an Earth 6, which is the first time I'd ever seen him is in Crisis, and this is where the Earth is rolled over by Lord Volt and Lady Quark.
Lord Lord Volt baby. Yes.
And the reason they have royalty ruling over the Earth is because America lost the Revolutionary War,
Oh, is that what happened?
which is some bullshit.
Yeah, that's an alternate Earth. That could never happen.
And then we
Destroy
have
that Earth.
Then we have Earth 14, which is the New Gods Earth. Earth 295, which is the Commandy, the last boy Earth, where he's the last human being on Earth, and everybody's anthropomorphic animals.
Hmm.
And he shows up randomly, and he befriends an animal in this one in Lord Solivar, who eventually first he's frightened of because he's like, "Oh no, you're an animal person. You're gonna hurt me."
And thank God they had that happen in this book.
They had to make that
It
bond
helped,
between
yeah.
Commandy and Lord Solivar.
And Lord Solivar, yeah. I mean, otherwise they could never have saved the universe.
Lord, of course, Commandy is one of those. I believe it was a Kirby creation of the late '60s,
Yeah.
'70s when he was just tripping balls every day.
Yeah,
So
a book came out maybe in the last 10 years called The Commandy Challenge where um, I think I don't know if it came out monthly or it came out quarterly, but every issue was by a different team. But the story continued, so the team before would leave him in the worst possible situation, and then the next writer and artist group would have to get him out of it and leave him in another terrible situation. I've heard it's really good. I haven't read it though. You?
I will have to check that out.
Yeah.
And they run out of numbers for the Earths eventually, and so they have to roll over to letters, even though numbers are
Yeah.
infinite, I believe.
Hmm.
So now I did not confirm this. I can't remember, but is Earthsea in this? In
I
any
don't think
Crisis
so.
we read?
No,
Okay,
I don't think it is.
Earthsea being the Zoo Crew world of Captain Carrot, Pig Iron. What's the turtle's name? The fast turtle.
I have no idea.
Oh, come on. Captain Carrot as a
No,
kid. You didn't read no Captain Carrot and the Zoo Crew, man?
I don't. Maybe once, but decades ago, I could not tell you. Sorry,
So,
sir.
why do I bother even hosting a podcast with somebody who's not educated about Captain Carrot and the Zoo Crew enough?
I don't know. So we are on the lookout. If anyone knows another person who'd like to participate on the show, this will be my last one.
So when I start my own Captain Carrot and the Zoo Crew podcast, you will not be invited on.
Oh man. Oh, I've never felt such sadness.
It's the
It's
podcast
like
completely
there's a.
about
It's like there's a midnight sun rising instead of a regular sun. That's
yeah,
how sad I feel right now.
it's the podcast completely about Captain Carrot and juice. So it's the podcast of the juice problem, or the juice podcast about with the Captain Carrot problem.
Uh, but going along, running out of letters and then also making them obvious, we have Earth S, which is the Shazam family Earth, who I
Mm-hmm.
guess had never interacted with any of the other DC heroes before, except on on multiversal, universal like crossovers and meetups. Um,
And why do they have Fawcett City? Who came up with the name Fawcett City?
I don't know. That kind of sucks.
Now,
It could be so many other names.
one of the best things is we'll get to just like all the characters, but they do have the caterpillar, the evil caterpillar that is the villain,
Oh yeah,
running shit when the villains try to take over all the multiverses.
that's right. That's right. Earth X, one of my favorite Earths. It's the Earth where World War II is either still going on or the Nazis won. But you have the freedom fighters with Uncle Sam and Lady, what's her name?
Lady Liberty,
No, no, the other one.
Lady Godiva,
Yeah, Lady Godiva. That's who it is.
Lady Fingers, Ladybug,
Ladybug, Phantom Lady.
Phantom Lady. There we go.
Yeah, Lady.
Lady, Lady.
And the last Earth, which is an oversight in the story, is what?
Earth Prime, which is the real world that we all supposedly live in, and has only one superhero, and that is Superboy. And he does appear and plays an important role at the very end of this. The reason they got to have other crises going on later to keep it
Yeah,
going.
which actually I like that. In this one, it seems like they get like 7 issues in or whatever, 8 or 9 issues in. They're like, shit, there's a Superboy character that we completely forgot to include in this story. Just write him in, put him in, put him in,
Put him in.
put him in, George, put him in
And,
anywhere.
and then they throw him in at the end also when there's a battle of Supermans
Yeah,
against the Anti-Monitor. So we're going to break this down like in terms of our highlights here. We're going to go like 5 bad things, 5 big gets that we liked out of this. And I think we'll first start with just kind of providing you the overview of what the hell's going on, why the whole collapses are going on, and this is a bad thing. So yeah, Marv Wolfman and George Perez had to come up with a reason to collapse everything together. So they created a good guy and a villain. Like basically, one guy is the Monitor who tries to preserve the multiverses, and
Mhm.
then an anti-Monitor who tries to collapse the universes.
Or
But
destroy them.
K-Mac,
He was going to destroy them.
destroy them and rule everything. Who
Yeah.
came first, the Monitor or the Anti-Monitor?
In the story, the anti-monitor came first,
So,
which
so how does that happen? How
I don't
how
know.
how are you born the Anti-Monitor? And they're like, you know what, we need to stop the Anti-Monitor,
The monitor.
the Monitor,
I would say science, right? But then I'd say no, anti-science.
anti-science. Usually, most normal people come up with a normal first thing, and then to come against it, they go anti something, right? So
Right, right.
I
Yeah.
mean, there's
Like
exceptions
there's
to this. There's
there's
there's like
bacteria, so you have antibacterial soap.
yes,
You don't create antibacterial soap before you have a bacterial problem.
I mean there are exceptions to this, like like Abraham Lincoln. There isn't an anti Abraham Lincoln. There's just John Wilkes Booth that they
Right,
created.
right.
So,
But
so
was John Wilkes Booth older or younger than Abraham Lincoln?
he was younger, I
Okay.
believe, but
All right. The math checks out.
that's the classic South Park when they have the oversized Abraham Lincoln running around town crashing, and the reason the only way they can stop him is by creating a giant John Wilkes Booth.
That makes sense.
So, yes, but so we got these characters that come from the original time of when Oa, that's the home planet of the eventually the Green Lanterns. They're all scientists, and one of them gets banished to an anti matter world, and from
Kind of.
that,
Yeah, he who knows? His name is Cronin. He's an asshole. He just wants to I don't know. Somehow he does something that creates the multiverse and it also creates an antimatter universe too. I suppose there's an antimatter multiverse, but I
they
haven't
never
read.
explained that.
Yeah, I think there's a crisis after Infinite Crisis that has something like that, or maybe it's an Infinite. I don't know. Doesn't really matter.
Well, see, in our world, antimatter. This is where I have a degree in physics, so I can explain this to you.
Okay,
We do
here you go, everyone. Pour your beers.
we get antimatter particles, but they disappear really quickly when they hit relative real matter, which is almost instantaneous in our world because everything's made of matter. So they almost exist for not even milliseconds, not even millionths of seconds, not even nanoseconds, whatever you want to say. They get peacefully destructive and turn to energy. But that is the nerdiest thing I will probably say in this podcast.
That's in this universe though. In other universes in the multiverse, it doesn't happen. There's a big ugly dude, and he has the power to destroy matter with the antimatter. Except he also has this alternative guy, Monitor. He's also a big ugly dude. Who's trying to stop him.
Yes,
There we go.
and you know, and to visualize these guys and these the characters, so you got to Google right now what monitor and anti-monitor looks like. So a monitor looks like a guy that went on a cruise in Jamaica when he was 55 and has no hair and got dreadlocks
Oh yeah, he
done on
got some
the
braids.
done on the cruise.
Like when he's not gathering the hero, like before the heroes went out to go protect the machines, he's like, "Need you guys to do some braiding over here
I need to
because that's
take
some
me
crazy braids."
take me to Jamaica. I got a reggae concert to make it to before my cruise sets off from Kingston.
As opposed to the anti-monitor who hates reggae. He's
But
anti-reggae.
but instead of being a guy that looked like he's overage going to a reggae concert and getting braids done, he looks like the robot version
Of that guy.
of the guy that would not go to a reggae concert and get the braids done,
No,
but
he's
still has
going to
somehow
like
robotic looking braids.
right. He's going to like a Rob Zombie concert or something.
So these guys are what are preventing and collapsing. So over 12 issues, you get the monitor trying to collapse everything, and he fails, and he
Is he
fails,
trying
and
to
he fails.
collapse, or he's just trying to not let it get destroyed? Right.
No, no, the anti-monitor is trying to destroy everything, right?
Right, but the monitor's trying to just not get things
Yeah,
destroyed, and he's
yeah,
not doing good. He's
yeah.
failing.
So he the monitor tries in one issue to create giant tuning forks
Hmm.
around everything, sends heroes to protect them, and that doesn't work out so well because there's shadow people
Hmm.
that get sent,
They're scary. They're really scary.
and heroes fight against them,
Hmm.
including Sergeant Rock and the Losers, who
Yeah,
stopped
it's
fighting
nice.
Nazis to fight the shadow people, which is amazing. That fails, and then the monitor gets damaged, or the anti-monitor gets damaged, so he goes back to Quard, which is an anti-world verse, and then he tries to create an anti-matter gun
Yeah,
cannon.
cannon, an antimatter cannon. Yeah,
Yes,
and the Flash Barry Allen finds a creative way to distract him to destroy it,
yeah.
which
So
is a really good send off for him. But we'll get to that.
so the big upshot is they keep trying to collapse universes, so we progressively get less and less universes
Mhm.
coming together. You start off with a multiverse, and the first time we get two
Yeah.
universes collapsing, and then Earth 1 and Earth 2 kind of start collapsing, and then they bring in the most other ones, those collapse, and you
Yeah.
get some side fighting and all, but eventually everything collapses, and we'll get to the end. But that's the bad get, is like, this is their big idea to bring everything together. We got to
Yeah.
create an anti-monitor to get a monitor. And they never
Right. Well,
mention a
it's
hall
very important.
monitor.
They don't. I don't know. You'd think they'd have one of those, but I guess there's just too many heroes involved. You can't add another hero because that guy would have saved the day. The hall
Yes.
monitor.
He would have kept, it's like, keep to your goddamn places. Do you have a pass?
Yeah. Where's your
Go back to
pass?
your rooms. Go back to your
Go.
rooms.
Go now. Go.
You can't pee. Go back to your room. But to tell this story, one of the best things ever is the covers on this are probably some of George Perez's greatest works.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Across the board, epics across almost every issue, from issue 1. I mean, issue 2. Which is your favorite of these 12
Oh boy.
issues?
My favorite is either issue 7, which is Superman holding dead Supergirl, which is obviously classic, iconic. It's been paid homage to by plenty of other artists. Or issue issue 8 is really good too, where you have the Flash ready to go one-on-one with the monitor, and the view is like between the monitor's leg. I don't know. Flash looks cool. The view is interesting because it's, like I said, between the monitor's legs, and Crisis is just where like
It's dangling down,
is,
and there's
yeah,
like a
just where his sack would be, I
and
guess,
there's
if you
got and in the background it's like it's got a fire crotch going up to it, and
yeah, yeah,
and you got a beat down Psycho Pirate in the bottom.
yeah. It's an anti-crotch. Yeah, so that's a cool cover. But also, like, honorable mention, issue number 5, where it has the headshots of all the heroes and the Earths merging. That's a really great cover too. So there, I mean, you could, like you said, you could go on and on about these covers. They're really well done. What about you?
If they had just did the covers, I think I could have gotten by with the whole Crisis story. Like, okay, I know everything that happens. There's Earth's coming together. There's a dead Supergirl. There's Firecrotch.
Yeah,
I've got it all.
Firecrotch, Flash versus Firecrotch.
Yes, but then yeah, I will either go with the one you mentioned with Supergirl's death on the cover, or issue 9, which is the all the villains when they decided to fight back and try to take over the multiverse,
Yeah, that's a good
and
one too.
that is just epic, epic. I mean, because it's one of those great covers where you can just stare at it, trying to name all the villains coming at you, and I think I can do most of them, but it's one of the things where he does it where they have people slithering in between people's legs, flying over people's heads,
Yeah,
ships, everything. Yeah.
yeah, and there was a Secret Wars 2 cover that had all the villains on it too, and you really like that one.
Yes. I tend to lean to the big villain strike back issue.
Yeah, because it's like we got to get this thing up to 12 issues. I know.
Yeah.
Have an issue where the villains take over. Where have they been?
And as a kid, I got issue number 11. It's the only one I actually owned as a kid,
Oh wow.
and I didn't really read a lot of whole DC, and so it's the issue where like the worlds have collapsed together.
Yeah.
And so everybody's like, there's old man Superman and regular Superman and old man Flash and regular Flash,
Is
and
that
they
the
got all
issue that's
together.
heady on the United Nations stuff?
Yes, and I was like,
Oh, that's
I don't,
great stuff.
I didn't, I didn't know there were two Supermen. I didn't know there were two Flashes, so I was completely confused. And there's a lot of treadmills to run through time,
Right.
and the UN. But I do like that. As a kid, I love this cover. I just bought it off the newsstand at the local supermarket because I love the cover. You have like an Oblivion, you have the Mascara, you have Robin and Huntress on the bottom, clutching each other's. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean it's just a solid cover. So that's maybe my third one because there's
Yeah.
the as a
There's a
kid I
lot
like
going
this.
on in that cover.
Yeah,
That's a really good cover too.
I mean you get old ball Superman and regular Superman. So
Yeah. The only issue I own is number 7.
just rub it in the face.
Yeah. Sorry, dude. Check Instagram, folks, because I'll have that with my beer.
Yeah. So if you're checking this out, Monitor exists only to create cool covers by George Perez. So,
Yeah. Which might be worth it in the end, right?
now, going back to the bad things, some people complain, not so much me, because I really like this, but George Perez really gets freestyle with panel design on this. So he'll have a lot of white space and skinny panels,
Mm-hmm.
with a lot of writing, and then change panel sizes and funkiness, and nothing's even pretty much in everything. And I think that mainly goes to speak to what he's trying to tell a story of. Everything's oblong when it's come. The universe is getting stretched and compressed, and so
Right, and it's
nothing.
overlapping,
Yeah.
time is overlapping and worlds are overlapping. Yeah, I
Hmm.
like it too. I think it's something different when you're reading something that's this big and this long. It helps to have some interesting panels. If it was just like, 9 panels per page, I don't know if I could have done it. But the fact that you can, look at the panels and say, "Oh, look, these panels are at an angle and there's all, and it shows the different earths moving into each other or collapsing or being destroyed." That's really I enjoyed it. It's a really nice touch.
Yeah, it moves between symmetrical and asymmetrical to try to, I think, disorient the reader on. Now I've done. I probably should do a study and lay in all the panels somehow and see when things are collapsing, if the panels changes versus when the
Oh, neat.
world's just normal. I wonder if it's that level of detail that he thought to that level, him and Wolfman together, kind of thinking about this thing.
I mean, maybe. Yeah, that's a good point. You get right on that.
Well, I am getting my PhD in panel design from the
Sweet.
Institute of Funny Books. So
Well done.
yeah, that'll be my thesis.
There's a layout on page 23 of issue 4 where Pariah, who we haven't talked about yet, but he's crying as yeah, I know. We're gonna talk about Pariah soon, where Earths are dying, but it's like it has him at an angle, like with his head up crying, and it's showing like, different Earths and different heroes reacting to the destruction that's happening. It's a very cool page, for example. But yeah, I
Yeah,
like that. So some people complain about that, but I enjoyed that.
but tying into that, like I said, they try to tell a story that's going to be epic and amazing, and that's what it is. They that's another good thing. I think on the positive, on the 5 things that we saw is they go for it. They don't they don't try to tell a little story. They they dig in and dig in and like, we're going to take this out to 12 issues, motherfuckers.
Yeah, watch out. Everything in the kitchen sink too.
we're, we're, we're gonna you're gonna want to buy all 12 issues because you can't stop with all the epicness we're gonna throw in your face in this.
Right. And they
Which
even,
is
they throw in characters that, you don't expect too, which is like almost every character gets a moment. You know what I mean?
and not just the character scale of, but like all the verses, they try to find time for them, and unlike trying to tell and they keep it pretty good together on an epic scale, unlike I would say Secret Wars 2, which is the last one covering a big swig, which just sprawls out to meandering nothing. It makes
It
no
does,
sense.
yeah.
This one, they keep at least tight on, we are telling a tale where everything's collapsing in on itself. This is what we're, so
Yeah.
everybody
Yeah.
we're, there is no beyond their birth and himself story in this one.
I mean,
There's no there's
I
no
always wonder,
gap.
like, how did the anti-monitor learn how to poop?
Yes.
That like, I don't know. I don't know. How do you poop in the anti-monitor universe? I don't know,
How do you make
in the
anti-poop in
antimatter
the
universe. Yeah, what is that? Like does it come out the same spot? I mean, I don't know. If it's anti, then it probably comes out the opposite. That's pretty
does
gross. So
does it come out fiery
it's fiery.
fiery anti-poop?
Maybe that's like, there's that shot through his crotch and it's all
Yeah.
fiery. So
Yes. Yes.
he's a anti-monitor fire crotch.
Yeah. So when I eat matter, it comes out as poop.
Hmm.
So
When you eat
so
antimatter, what
if I eat,
happens?
if I eat antimatter, does it come out as something that's not poop?
Anti-poop.
Or do all things that go into my tummy come out as poop? I'm gonna have to get on the line and figure out if there's an answer to this one.
Yeah, and the other thing that's happening is like all these worlds are collapsing. The antimatter wave or whatever is going through them, but until it like starts happening, like no one's really freaking out. Everyone's just going to work and like doing whatever. And then all of a sudden they see the white wall in front of them. They're like, let me out of here. Like there's really not a lot of urgency when it comes to like the people of all these universes. So, you know, it's like, okay, well, it doesn't really seem that bad.
Yeah, there's like scenes where the first start out with the collapse of Earth 1 and Earth 2, where time is coming together. So
Yeah,
there's like dinosaurs in Metropolis, spy planes, 49ers, cowboys, and
right.
everything. And
Legion of Superheroes.
yeah, and no one says shit. They're just like,
Right.
okay,
No,
there's
what
fucking
they
dinosaurs.
yeah, no, what they have is they just have like Lois Lane and Lana Lang saying, scientists are gathered around to look at this, really.
But
And
yeah,
it's like,
the reporters act like it's normal and like covering the
yeah,
story.
yeah, it's a little weird. Um, but it's
like,
like,
like
okay.
the everything's going on but hey, we gotta cover this fucking story, man. I don't care
Yeah.
if a Tyrannosaurus is gonna eat somebody.
Yeah. So the television signals are very strong on that earth because like you have like back in that time, you had the rabbit ears. If it was raining out or you didn't have them pointing the right way, you weren't getting your show. But like, there's like an antimatter universe, coming at you. But we're getting all our TV shows, so that's great. We should report this on the news.
They must have wrapped the foil out of those motherfuckers
Hell
to
yeah,
amp up the signal reception.
hell
So
yeah,
for you kids out there back in the day, to increase the reception area on your rabbit ear antennas, you had to wrap foil around them and ball them up a little bit to get more surface area to hopefully catch some more of the electromagnetic waves coming in to hopefully be able to watch the next episode of V or something. That's
yeah.
what
Or
we had to
Super
do as kids.
Friends.
Super Friends.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So the
despite being an
urgency
epic
doesn't seem.
story, sorry, it's like being an epic story and doing all these things. The characters in the story don't care that it's this epic. They're just like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, they're all very calm, right? They're being gathered for their teams and they're doing a lot of standing around and talking.
Yes, which is weird.
And yeah,
But to go on that, the probably my favorite thing about this whole thing, outside of the last thing that we're going to talk about, Pariah, is you touched on this. They bring in every fucking character possible from the DC universe.
yeah,
Everyone has their moment to shine, and it's amazing. I mean, when we say everyone, we get, like I said, we mentioned Sergeant Rock is fighting Nazis and fights Shadow People, and the Losers, which are another one of the war comics that DC did, they come back in and they're fighting people. And there's Cave Carson
yeah.
investigating stuff that's center Earth. There's the
They
Sea
have
Devils.
what is it? The Challengers of the Unknown.
Yes.
Yeah, I've never heard of them until I read this, but I guess they remind me of the Fantastic Four without powers.
Well, that's the whole point of them. So
Yeah.
Jack Kirby created the Challengers of the Unknown,
Ah,
and
gotcha.
then he walked across the street and he made, after DC kind of let him go, and he created the Fantastic Four with Stan Lee right after that.
Nice. Take
Yes.
that. Even like there. So there's a scene in issue 5 where they're talking about like merging universes, and even Warlord gets in on the action. Warlord's like, "No way, that's impossible." Just like one panel of Warlord.
I live in the center of the earth where there's nothing but constant sun, and I
Right.
rule everybody with my crotch panties and a gun. My furry crotch
One
panties.
gun.
One gun. That's what makes him a warlord.
Hmm.
And I didn't even like. So I've just started reading some of the side crossover comics, and Princess Amethyst is in this from Gem World, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's right. They refer to her a couple of times, but not. They have to rescue her from like all of her people think she's destroyed the world or that
Yeah.
she's causing the problem, right?
And she gets her eyes fried. She gets blind. So yeah,
Oh, that's
this is
right.
yeah. So stuff happens, man. And I mean, if it's a world-ending event, I need the best scuba diving team in the world. So yeah, the Sea Devils better show the fuck up.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Now is Dolphin with the Sea Devils or is she something different?
No, she's different. So
Okay.
yeah, so there is a crew that ends up like in the last two issues, and you don't know
They
why they're there.
Yeah, they end
So
up in
can you?
space together, but it's a really weird group of group of heroes, right?
And I assume this is the beginning of the what's the CW show? Heroes of Tomorrow,
Oh, yeah, Legends of Tomorrow.
Legends of Tomorrow. So I assume these are the Legends of Tomorrow, and this has got the thing. But can you name the six characters? There's Dolphin,
There's Dolphin,
who
there's Animal
who
Man. But tell me about
animal.
Dolphin.
So Dolphin's superpower is she's from, as far as I can tell, from some part of Apalachicola, Florida, and can swim in the water because all she wears is cut off jean shorts and a gray tank top,
Yeah.
and can swim.
Yeah, so there's Dolphin, there's Animal Man, there's Adam Strange, there's shit, who else?
Captain
The
Comet.
there's Captain Comet. Goodness gracious.
there's there's this next one that's even better than Captain Comet.
I don't think I made a list of these people. I made a list of all the other teams.
And then there's this is my favorite, Cosmic Knight.
Cosmic Knight. Oh,
No,
nice.
it's Knigget, not just in IGT. It's Knigget, and they're all read by Rip Hunter, the Time Lord Rip Hunter,
Oh
who
yeah,
leads
that's
the
right. Rip
Legends of
Hunter.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, that's a not a
They
bad
never
team.
explain how they get together.
No, they don't. It's like after the Earths merge and everyone's kind of all out of sorts. They're just together in space. They're not even on Earth. They're in space, and it's pretty cool. They become Team Brainiac. But
Yes.
like,
So here's the theory I've got.
mhm.
Spring break,
Oh, there you go. They go to Panama City.
Panama City, Dolphins there.
Mhm.
Cosmic Knight and Captain Comet go to spring break. Adam Strange gets Zeta tubed in,
Yeah, Zeta tubed.
Zeta tubed in, and Animal Man is trying to make it with Dolphin because she's a dolphin.
Right, and that's how they
And
came together.
and then Rip Hunter comes in from the future and says, "Hey, there's a multiverse crash, and I need everybody with your skills and a girl from Apalachicola, Florida, to take this on.
who can who can swim well underwater. We need her in
Yes,
space.
just meet her in space."
And Animal Man, we need you in space where there are all the animals.
There's at least one dolphin. That's all we know.
Uh, so I was surprised that after like everything merged, that Brainiac was still the robotic Brainiac because I thought he became Ming the Merciless.
I
It
think
doesn't really matter.
this was not yet. I think this was at the time that
Oh,
they were doing the Challenge the Super Friends, and they released robotic Brainiac with the Brainiac head and everything. And then after this, he becomes Ming's the Merciless or whatever,
okay.
Brainiac 4 or Brainiac, whatever his number is.
Yeah.
That I can't remember. I think
Okay.
it's post
Well, it
crisis.
also might not have been the universe might not have been completely merged yet at
Yes.
that point either. Okay. Either way, not super important. Just Brainiac.
So
So,
we get all these characters. Like I said, we can list them. And there's one epic panel that George Perez did
oh yeah,
where they've gathered them all together in the monitor's like hall room. Like, which issue was that?
that's issue number 5, pages 7 and 8. I have it on our notes as Yek's favorite splash page.
It is one of my favorite ever because it shows the characters like it's one of those like I like because you can go through and pick out all the characters,
It's
but
symmetrical though. That's what.
it's symmetrical. But how do you draw to show depth with that many characters without making it flat, which is really hard to do?
Yeah.
And the way George Perez kind of solves this and gives it volume, so it's not just 2D. He uses Plastic Man, Elongated Man, and Mercury from the Metal Men, who are all stretchy guys, and
Right.
makes them torsion up and around to kind of make it look spherical. So you provide depth with it, even though with all these characters that it'd be easy where you it's impossible to draw that many characters and get the heads in and get them all right and everything. But it adds that extra feel, and you have Alex Luthor looking over, and I believe Pariah looking over.
Yeah. You have Harbinger and
Yeah.
Pariah, and then that knight from Camelot time who
And
rides
you
on a
have
flying
Shiny Knight
horse.
flowing in. Yeah, yeah. So you have like all these things to kind of provide this depth, and you can go through and pick out all the characters, and it's where you definitely get the Sea Devils and my boys. But yeah, it's just an impressive page.
Yeah, yeah, it's one of the best ones for sure.
Hmm.
I mean, George Perez artwork is just lights out in the story.
Yeah, always the king of big crossovers to be able to draw
Yep.
lots of characters together and do it well.
Yeah, he was on
But
Infinity Gauntlet as well, right?
yeah, that's and also Avengers JLA crossover when they
Oh,
did
that's right.
that. And anytime you're going to do a big event with lots of characters, he was your guy to do the crossover. So so they have all these these characters, but they have to contrive a lot to get it done. And instead of coming up with a simple story, like we said, they have 9 different events to try to bring everything together. It seems like
Yeah,
Marv Wolfman and George Perez didn't get the memo. It's like you're supposed to be collapsing these universes. You can do that in like 3 issues, guys. You don't need to
we
keep
need 12.
you don't need to keep stopping this because everybody's like taking a smoke break in between the
Yeah,
schemes.
yeah, they keep stopping. They feel like, after Flash destroyed the cannon, it seemed like the monitor had been destroyed, right?
Anti monitor.
No, yeah, the anti-monitor. Actually, no. After issue 7, after Supergirl's battle with him, it seemed like the anti-monitor had been destroyed,
Yes.
but he hadn't. And then
Yeah.
the next issue, Barry Allen destroyed the cannon, and it seemed like the anti-monitor had been stopped, but he hadn't. And then they give us kind of a swerve when they say, "Oh my goodness, Simon killed Brainiac," and Simon, by the way, what an awesome character and an awesome character design. This guy has a brain. His brain is in a fishbowl on top of his head.
so 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 one of the things that also I didn't highlight, and the things that a lot of the characters that get prominence on this are also characters from Teen Titans and the
Yeah.
new Teen Titans, and Simon's one of the prominent characters. So there's lots of new Teen Titans things showing up, like Dr. Light, getting a new Dr. Light. You
Mhm.
get Simon in
A lot
prominent
of Beast
forms,
Boy.
a lot of Beast Boy. So yeah, they they pay homage to the guys they like the best. They were
Yeah.
writing so. But yeah, there's like 12 events.
Yeah.
So the monitor and
Yeah.
the monitor tries to stop him with the tuning forks, and that doesn't work so well. But then it slows him down enough that he has to go back and do something new, and then the anti monitor figures out that the harbinger he's tweaked the harbinger to be
Yeah.
a sleeper cell,
Yeah, because I
and he
guess
kills
she
the monitor.
separates into like multiple harbingers. They don't really
Yes.
explain that well, but you know,
Yeah,
that happens.
they sleeper
Yeah.
cell her, and
Yeah.
then that doesn't work out for him, and then he just straight goes at it, and then they send a team of superheroes to go after him in a floating, as far as I can tell, is Castle Grayskull.
Yeah. He has the Anti Monitor has a rock castle fortress that old man Superman has never seen anything like. I'm like, you've never seen rocks before? Come on, Superman. I'm sure you've seen rocks.
It's they stop the anti-monitor then, and the anti-monitor goes to Quard, and he's like, "I'm gonna make fuck this. I'm making an anti-monitor cannon."
Cannon.
Which why didn't he just make an anti-matter cannon from the beginning?
Right, exactly. At least have it waiting, right? Just in case. This poor
Yep.
planning. It's
And
called
then
anti planning.
the Flash eats
I
it.
thought that was funny.
Yes,
We're going to talk about the stakes later, what the Flash eats and what he doesn't eat.
the Flash eats it, and then the anti-monitor is just like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna be anti-monitor." It's like, why didn't you just be anti-monitor from the beginning? Just do everything as anti-monitor.
Right. Seemed like it would have been a lot faster.
Yes, just it would have gotten Marv Wolfman and George Press a lot less work of just, yeah, hey, we got everything together. Let's start writing the comics after this. But then that leads to what we were going to. There are real stakes in this one which is another good thing,
Mhm.
and
Well,
which is
so
the
but
which
but this goes from like Crisis on Infinite Earths to Crisis on Two Earths to
yes,
Crisis on this one Earth. Like that's how
yes.
many times like you think you're done, but you're not really done. It's like, you guys are done. It's only 10 issues. You're supposed to write 12. Oh shit.
And they're supposed to
That
be crises, but they're not. No one treats them as really crises.
it's like bad times on Infinite Earths.
Shitty times at Infinite Earth High.
Yeah. But yeah, there are some real stakes, and that's important in a story like this. You have to have some real stakes.
So the big two deaths that happen in this that you may not know about that eventually get worked out later in like the 2000s.
Yeah.
Supergirl dies, taking on the Anti-Monitor one-on-one, beats his ass back to Quard. But that's a big deal because this
Yeah.
is Supergirl right now had already had her movie out. What year
I
did the Supergirl movie come
I
out?
think so. It may have come out right around that time, 1984.
1984. So yeah, this is out in 85. So Supergirl movie got panned, but it was still big enough as we were kids. This was when it
Oh
was on
yeah.
videotape that I loved watching the shit out of that.
Yeah, I watched that a bunch of times.
Yeah, Helen Slater as Clara Zor-El. Talk about yeah.
Yeah. If we had an 80s movie draft, I probably would have picked her.
Yeah, she's also she plays Billie Jean in The Legend of Billie Jean, also an HBO classic.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that came on a lot. If you remember that movie,
I don't.
which had an early appearance of a young Christian Slater.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so, but no, yeah. I mean, yeah. So they killed her off, which was maybe a
That must
major
have
character
happened
that
on an Earth that was destroyed because I don't remember that.
you don't remember. The Legend of Billie Jean.
I don't remember the Legend of
It's
Billie
the
Jean.
one where the girl gets wronged. I don't think it's rape, but she gets burglarized, and the adults don't trust her, so she takes on the system and gets all the kids to get behind her, and then she cuts off all her hair and dyes it blonde.
Well,
Oh
I'm
man, it
looking
was
at it
epic.
here. Yeah. I don't know. I will have to watch a trailer somewhere. I mean, the movie poster looks familiar, but
I mean, if you had any friend, we didn't have HBO as a kid, but all the friends had HBO, so we had to go over and watch it.
yeah, she got a milkshake thrown in her face. Is what
Yes.
happened. You didn't have HBO as a kid?
No, no, no. We my parents. We didn't get any cable until like when I was late middle school. My parents
No.
didn't believe in it, so
Yeah, we
we
were on and off with cable, but somehow we had HBO when when I was like 8 or 9. So I watched The Last Starfighter a bunch of times. Whatever, like there's a certain period of movie where I've seen them all like half a dozen times.
well, this is the wheelhouse that I saw a lot of because yeah, I saw Supergirl and The Legend of Billie Jean at my buddy Mike's house a lot, and then '84 and '85 they both came out, and a lot of the movies around that time that yeah, I think Rad and the Dirtbag Kid and all those movies were
I
played nonstop on the HBO. But yeah,
have to look up movies on HBO in 1983 and see what I saw.
but no, so yeah, Supergirl Dino. That's kind of a big deal to kill off a character that just had a major. Because this is back when you didn't get superhero movies that often. I mean,
Right. Or ever, really.
yeah, and so that was a big deal. And the next big deal, Barry Allen eats it, stopping the anti-canon, the antimatter canon. And Barry Allen had been the Flash forever. And he had Wally West as Kid Flash or Teen Flash, and then he had old man Jay Garrick as Earth 2 Flash, but Barry Allen really was the Flash. Like in terms of Silver Age comics, Barry Allen appearing in the DC universe as the new Flash was the kickoff of the Silver Age in the DC universe. Whereas you could say Fantastic Four was the Marvel Universe's version of that.
Mhm.
Kicking off the Silver Age. Barry Allen Flash and Showcase was the new thing to kick off the Silver Age and the new storytelling for Silver Age storytelling in DC. So they killed off that character who was seminal to the whole DC universe.
That was a big deal.
And we were just youngins, and this was happening, and we're like, "What's going on?"
Yeah, so essentially, like people our age, the Flash we grew up with was Wally West. Barry Allen was gone.
Afterwards, yeah,
So, second beer?
just pulling one.
Nice.
I got I got to keep going because we got a few more tales to tell here.
Yeah. So
And
Barry Allen
then
doesn't come back until Final Crisis, which is,
yeah,
well, coincidentally, the name of the 12th issue in this series, but also a separate crossover. Final Crisis didn't come out until, goodness, that's in the 2000s.
Yes,
It's written by this Grant Morrison, isn't it? Didn't he write that?
I believe so. And Supergirl doesn't come back till Batman Superman.
Right, issue number 3 or 4 or something.
Grant Morrison, which is also the 2000s, right?
No, that's Jeff Loeb.
Jeff Loeb. Yeah, you're right,
Yeah,
Jeff Loeb.
but Final Crisis came out in 2008.
Yes.
So
So yeah, and then we can list all the other characters that died. You have Earth 2 Superman,
mhm.
so Old Balls Superman dies. Earth 2 Robin dies. Dick Grayson dies. Earth 2 Huntress, who's the daughter of Batman and
Bruce
Selina
Wayne.
Kyle,
Yeah,
Catwoman, so Bruce Wayne. So they eat it. The other big death, Wonder Woman dies.
yeah. Well,
Yeah,
not really, but she
I mean,
does.
she gets rebooted, I should say.
Yeah, she gets like, and it looks like she dies, but essentially she gets turned back into clay, and she
Mm.
is reborn. Isn't she reborn as like the first hero or something?
The way they put it is so Earth 2 I'm sorry, Wonder Woman and her boyfriend Trevor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. They get sent to Olympus, and then Zeus recreates her from clay as a new hero in the new combined universes.
Oh, gotcha.
So yeah, she kind of gets a reboot. So when she comes back in later issues that you read, nobody knows. Everybody's
Who
forgotten
she is?
who Wonder Woman is, and she doesn't know anybody. So she's like blank slate, new character,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
interesting.
When we read one of those crossovers in our book club, and it was like the reintroduction of Wonder Woman because nobody knew who she was, but she only appeared on like in like half a book in that whole series. I don't remember which one that was, but
It comes up next in our one of our big swigs that we'll cover some down the line is the
it
next one is
does.
Legends after this, where
Oh yeah,
they kick off the reboot of everything. So here's what the new universe looks like. Everybody's got to get to know each other, and that's the crossover they do. Legends.
yeah. And the version of Crisis on Infinite Earths I read was the trade paperback, and after the story's over, it has like there's like 100 pages of the new history of the DC universe, which I didn't have, a year to read it, so I didn't really read it, but it looks interesting based on the artwork and the images. They really like, or I mean, it seems like at the time, if this is contemporarily written with the story, they really thought about how everything was going to work out. Although after reading some of the ones after this, it doesn't really seem like it.
They had it all worked out until they didn't have it all worked out.
Yeah, that seems about right.
And so that continues on. Like, the bad thing is, yeah, Barry Allen, like as I was mentioning, that's a big deal. No more
It is a
Barry
really big
Allen.
deal.
And all you people out there that were born post 1990 probably only know Barry Allen because you watched the Barry Allen TV show on Flash now.
Yeah.
That's probably your Flash. Whereas we grew up with Wally West, who takes over as being Teen Flash, becoming the Flash in the actual comic books and those things. So
Like I said, he didn't come back till 2008 ish. And it wasn't even when he came back, I don't think it was necessarily a situation where it was thrust right into the main stories either. And then
yeah,
Supergirl didn't come back. I think I saw 2013, but I don't know if that's exactly right. But they had the fake Supergirl Matrix in the 90s for a little
yes.
while.
While I like the idea of trying to trim the universes, make it more efficient, I don't know if I like the selection of those two characters getting gone.
Yeah.
You have so much history and everything with them. Why'd you get rid of those? I understand getting rid of Old Man Superman and some of the other things in the Golden Age that you're like, oh, okay, we can. And in the reboot of Wonder Woman, it makes sense to me. You're keeping her around, but you're like, yeah, we're just cutting bait on these two people forever and ever.
Yeah, it's an interesting choice. I mean, and I get it, Wally West is definitely an interesting, compelling character, but there's always room for more than one Flash.
Yeah, but
But I guess it makes his return that much better.
yeah. So many years later, so
I
many
know.
years later.
I know a lot of people who were, grew up with Wally West were not necessarily happy that Barry Allen was coming back because it kind of pushed Wally West to the sideline.
Yes, and then Wally West became the character that retires from being Flash. He doesn't want to be Flash anymore. which they go back to an old line from the original New Teen Titans, which was the whole point, was like Wally West wanted to get out of the hero business. He didn't. His heart wasn't in it, and
Right. And wasn't the Speed Force was slowly killing him, but that got cured in this. But yeah, his heart wasn't really in it.
well, they kind of get rid of the Speed Force in this because they retcon it. So after this, he can only run at the speed of sound, just a little over the speed of sound. He can't run faster than that.
This slow ass.
Fat ass Wally West. And that brings us
Ding.
to our favorite thing about this whole thing.
Well, there's
And
two.
what
I mean, I think there's two favorite things. So why don't
okay.
we say that they both start? They all start with P. So we'll do the first one.
All right. My favorite thing
I think it's both of our favorite things. So because
is the creation of the character Pariah,
yes,
a character that makes absolutely no goddamn sense.
or really has no purpose except
Has no
I guess
purpose.
he's just his purpose is foreshadowing, but it's not like he needs to foreshadow because it's obvious what's happening.
I mean, so they create this character Pariah that appears anytime something epically bad is going to happen. Say,
Yes.
like the collapse of a universes on other universes, and he has to live the rest of his life doing this. This is all he does.
Right. And so this is some because the monitor cursed him that way, but really just did it to keep him around. We learn later because he had some kind of power as well. But so right before a universe is destroyed in this story, Pariah appears as the bearer of bad news.
And he's always freaked out and everything. Like after I understand, hey, it's awful to see people go by and everything, but I think after the thousandth world you see, don't you just like go, where's the popcorn?
Sigh.
Where's the
Yeah.
popcorn? Where's
Yeah.
the,
Or you just become a drooling vegetable.
yeah. I'm probably like, yeah, I've been there, done that. This is gonna be awful, guys.
Yeah.
Where's the bar? I want to get as many beers in as I can before this shit kicks out. So
Why not? Right. Gonna
yeah.
happen anyway. And so, reading this story, like, okay, well, at the end, it's like him and Harbinger and like one other character just kind of walk off into the sunset, I think, and Lady Quark, right? Just kind of walk off into the sunset. And you're like, okay, well, whatever. But, something we'll talk about in another episode is in War of Gods, which is like two crossovers after this or three crossovers after this. He just starts appearing again. It's like, and that's not even that bad. It's like what's going on with Pariah? But yeah, and he has a cool outfit, green cape. Gotta have a
That's
green cape.
my other thing is, yeah, this guy shows up anywhere wearing the same outfit that has like a pirate shirt and a green cape
Mhm.
on,
Yeah,
and he's got like way too much mascara that's running.
he does. His mascara is definitely not waterproof.
like
You would
like
think he'd have that.
fix your game with your green cape and your pirate shirt and your mascara, man. 'Cause you're gonna have to see some more of this.
Yeah, it's coming. So next time you appear in a place, you know, walk into a drugstore, get yourself some. You can take it with you.
Go to your local J.C. Penney's, man. Hit up the makeup lady that's trying to sell you on new cosmetics and get her to touch you up some.
Yeah, you got time.
You know what's happening. Get your makeup fix. Tell everybody, hey, it's shit's going down. Get yourself to the bar and get loaded. So
Yeah.
you're gonna show up in another one.
Right. You got to at least look good for it. These people are about to be anti-mattered and you look like
Get on
hell,
it.
man. Come on, get yourself together. All right. So we have to give, before we even talk about this, which it's amazing it hasn't been done, we need to give a shout out to our friend Tom, who came up with this concept. And yeah, I'll leave it to you to reveal what this concept is because it's probably the best thing DC Comics could do.
So we've been reading. We've read these issues in our comic book club with all the crossovers, and Pariah showed up a number of times, and always the same gimmick as we said. He goes, everything's going bad, and we've already established that if there's a monitor, there's an anti-monitor or a monitor anti-monitor. There's got to be an anti-pariah, right?
Yeah. Or well, there's a Superman and there's a Bizarro Superman. So
Yes.
maybe there could be a Bizarro pariah who only shows up when good things happen.
Yes. Like things that are epically good that should not have happened. Like, so Pariah shows up when things are epically bad and ending. Like Bizarro Pariah shows up when things that should have gone bad like went really well. Like the Titanic collapse going,
Mm,
like everybody's like, oh no, we know the Titanic's gonna go in, but it doesn't go down, and everybody's like,
right.
ah. Or in the DC universe it'd be something cool as, Batman's parents don't get shot.
Yeah.
So
Or
Bruce Wayne's there. It's like,
Krypton doesn't explode.
yeah, Krypton doesn't explode. It's like, it's gonna explode. Probably good. Brothers are probably like, no, it's not.
Yeah. Yeah. Krypton no explode. Thomas Wayne no get shot.
Thomas Martha no get shot. And then Bruce Wayne's like just another dickhead rich kid.
uh, yeah, that I don't know why they haven't done that. It would be great. Honestly though, in the DC universe, not too many good things happen. If you think
Exactly.
about it, like
What's
he should have been there at Superman and Lois Lane's wedding, though. Bizarro pariah, just hanging out. Like we love weddings.
me catch bouquet. Me get married to
Mm.
Harbinger.
So, what other are there any other good things in the DC universe that he could have shown up for?
We, we I don't want to go to the back. Like he could have stopped all of Identity Crisis.
He could have. I was thinking that too. He could have stopped Identity Crisis, which would have been a good idea.
That-
Like
that's
like Bane's about to break Batman's back, but he shows up and Batman slips out of his hand. So
Batman no break.
Batman no break. Superman and Doomsday punch each other at the same time, but Doomsday misses. Superman no die today. Say Bizarro Pariah.
Nose Day, Doomsday.
Well, you could make a great alternate Earth out of Bizarro Pariah.
Just going around making everything hunky dory.
Yeah. Oh, a death in the family. The Bizarro Pariah could help out a lot there.
The crowbar bounces back and hits Joker in the forehead.
Right.
But wait, that's debatable. This is debatable
Yeah, that's
because
true. Maybe that was a good thing.
Jason Todd dying was getting rid of a terrible character.
Yeah.
He's a terrible Robin, the worst Robin.
Yeah, is that the only time that Bizarro Pariah would not have changed the outcome of an event?
He comes in and just shrugs and he brings out real Pariah. Get it. I'm calling an audible. Get in here, Pariah. Make sure that crowbar swings. So yeah.
Yeah, they should use that. They should use that so much.
It
So
would have preserved the multiverse.
yeah, our other favorite thing in this story so much, and he's such a huge part of the story, we barely mention him, is the Psycho Pirate.
Yes.
We have barely mentioned the Psycho Pirate. And the Psycho Pirate, if you remember, there's one scene where Psycho Pirate and a couple of other characters have to go to ancient Atlantis to guard the machine from the shadows, and Pariah shows up, and Psycho Pirate actually turns Pariah into Bizarro Pariah. He makes him a happy, laughing guy for a few minutes there.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what's amazing about the story, so we've gone over they're basically four big characters that you think of that were created for this. That is
Yeah.
Pariah, Harbinger, Monitor, Anti-Monitor as drivers, and they're all created just for this. And then
Yeah.
for some reason, Wolfman and Perez chose as their big other guy that was already existing to drive the story, Psycho Pirate.
Right.
Of all the DC characters, like, we need a guy that we like his name a lot that people are going to love. Like, Psycho Pirate, motherfucker, Psycho Pirate.
Right. And there's no real reason for him to be in the story, but let's put him in
Yeah.
there.
He's supposed to be the Monitor uses him to control the heroes to fight other heroes and control worlds enough so nobody knows what's going on. But like we said,
Only
everybody kind
like
of
an issue.
Yeah, like everybody knows what's going on though, because they're like, well, it looks like every world's collapsing on itself and sacrificing
Yeah.
something to
It looks like Psycho Pirate's bothering
do.
us now.
And Anti Monitor keeps talking trash, saying, "I can get somebody better than you." He's always trying. He's always trying to outsource Psycho Pirate's work
Yeah.
too.
So I was like, you're fired, dude.
He goes down like a list of people. I could have gone with this guy. I could have gone with this guy.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah. Also, characters I'd never heard of.
But yeah, so yeah, tops for Pariah and Psycho Pirate as characters featured in this.
Oh, yeah.
How did you like your beer while we ranted and raved through this one, K-Mac?
I like it. I did like it better straight out of the tap at the bar. There was something about the flavor that was a little more crisp then. Like now I'm getting a lot of dank on the back end that I didn't get before.
Okay,
But it's good. I would have to say that if I'm talking about
name
rating
an Earth.
it,
Name an
look,
Earth.
name an earth. Oh man. Oh boy. So my beer, let me get to that list of earths that we have here. Oh man, there's so many good earths. It's so hard to choose. Let me see. I would say that well, and just to remind everyone at this point, my beer is called Stay Noided, which means essentially stay paranoid. And it's Overflow Brewing out of St. Petersburg. It's a New England hazy IPA, 6.5% ABV. So I'm talking about stay paranoid.
But as a rating,
As a rating, yeah, as a
yeah.
rating, I would give it then, I'm going to give it Earth 3, the Crime Syndicate, because, the Crime Syndicate, they're pretty paranoid. They have no idea what's going on in the story. You know, they don't know who's double crossing them or why this is happening to them. But I'm gonna give it an Earth 3. Now, if I was drinking it back in the bar where I like the taste of it better, I'm going to give it an Earth 1 because like I was like super impressed by this beer when I had it in the bar. It tasted really good. I felt like a superhero drinking it. It was so tasty, so good, but it's kind of lost a little bit in the transition in the growler up to my house. But
I was
yeah,
thinking, yeah, it sounds like it started hard like Earth 3 and then kind of
yeah,
faded out like I don't know what the fuck this is anymore. It
yeah, yeah. I'm gonna have to go.
rolled out like, hey, this is gonna be the best thing ever, and you're like, went
Yeah,
down like a bitch.
it's not what I anticipated. Not gonna pass judgment. I'll definitely give it another try. And plus, I have a growler to finish, so I'm gonna have to because you can't let that go to waste.
Yeah. Yep,
Yep.
yep.
What about you? What beer is the Midnight Sun?
I was
What
looking over
Earth is
this
the Midnight Sun? Sorry.
and I was gonna go with I think Earth Prime on this one.
Mhm.
It's something you know about and it just shows up and it's solid. It's solid. It moves the story along, but it's nothing that you're going to be like, I got to go get one of those. But it's not
Yeah,
bad, but not great. But and then at the end, you're like, it moved the story along. It moved the story along. It got me. It got me where I was going. I got to give it some props on that as a Schwarzbier.
yeah.
But it's not something I'm going to go out and seek another uh, double pack of. I think. But if I was in Ithaca, New York, watching some Ithaca College Bombers football, I'd have a couple of them. But or if I was Superboy all alone, this is and there was no regular sun, and I was just stuck under a midnight sun. This would be drinking.
Yeah, yeah. Don't get me wrong. This brewery is right across the street from my office, so I will check it out. Go to the source and see how it is there too.
Oh, indeed.
Yes, yes.
So just just to round up, if you enjoyed talking about Infinite Crisis with us and have questions that only we can answer about Infinite Crisis, that you're like
No, Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Crisis on Infinite Earths, so
Infinite Crisis is going to be a
I
big
know
swig in like 15 years for us, but
yes,
there's some foreshadowing there. Yeah, you're like Pariah showing up, but a couple of years early.
indeed.
Or you're actually like the Flash showing up to Batman saying, "Help me, help me."
And the Joker's trying to shoot me. But
Yeah,
if you have questions about all the gaps that we did not cover, because we didn't cover all the gaps and everything, as you're reading through Crisis on Infinite Earth on your own account,
infinite gaps.
Infinite Cats. Please feel free to write us at cbcopodcast@gmail.com. Small tweet us at cbco_podcast, or just put a picture of a panel from Crisis on Infinite Earth and say what TF, and we'll
Yes.
respond to what we think of that and explain it to you at comic books_cold ones on Instagram.
Yes. And thank you for listening. We really appreciate it. And we shall return soon. We're now consolidated to one Earth. We're focused. We're ready to go for the next show.
Indeed.